You're watching Daybreak on Trust TV. We'll be diving straight into our phone-in segment or interactive segment. We'll be talking about malnutrition crisis. How are you coping? Today, we're tackling a critical issue that affects our children, our economy, and our future: malnutrition. A recent revelation by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Public Health, Uju Anwuka, has placed Nigeria as the second worst hit country globally for malnutrition and the highest in Africa. Even more alarming, the chairman of the House Committee on Food and Nutrition, Honorable Chiki Okafo, estimates that this crisis is draining Nigeria of $1.5 billion every year, funds that could be channeled into healthcare, education, and infrastructure. But what's fueling this crisis? Is it rising food prices, poor access to nutritious meals, gaps in government policies, or a lack of awareness? Experts say malnutrition doesn't just stunt children's growth, it weakens their immune systems, reduces their learning ability, and traps families in poverty. With over 12 million Nigerian children suffering from chronic malnutrition, what can be done to reverse this? That is a huge question. This is where you come in. Are you a parent struggling to afford balanced meals, a healthcare worker seeing the effects firsthand, or do you have ideas on how the government and communities can work together to fix this? We want to hear from you. Call us now on the numbers displayed on your screen so that you can be involved in this conversation. Send us a WhatsApp message as well so that we can read out your messages as well. All right, when it comes to malnutrition in Nigeria, it has been a long-standing issue whereby you would see a large array of children suffering from malnutrition, especially in poverty-stricken areas. And malnutrition could be caused due to a couple of factors. And with these different factors, especially when there is a food scarcity, that in itself would leave a lot of people with little to no choice due to the fact that the food is not readily available, and they do not even have the money to purchase enough food for it to even be nutritious and a balanced diet as well. So make sure you call us in so that we can hear your thoughts, we can hear your experiences, especially if you're healthcare workers. Let us know what the condition is around where you work and everything that you see around you. So with Nigeria facing this severe malnutrition crisis, particularly, there are a couple of regions that have been highlighted that do suffer from the acute malnutrition, which are the northern region, with millions of children and as well as women at risk. And this crisis is usually fueled by, climate change, due to the fact that sometimes there isn't enough food that has been farmed by farmers in those areas, as well as conflict, whereby, again, there isn't a conducive environment for farmers to farm and get more food. For example, with the conflicts that we're having, intercommunal conflict, should I say, or farmer herder conflict, as it's called, that's been going on in Benue State or in Zamfara, in Katsina. Those type of conflicts would stunt the production of produce and food as well. And when it comes to high prices, that aspect as well is a factor in contributing to malnutrition. And as I said, there's been a history of malnourished children in Nigeria, whereby Nigeria does get some aid from organizations and is provided to the children, as well as Nigeria as well, the federal government doing all it can to make sure that those children are nursed back to being fully healthy and nutritious. And with the figures of $1.5 billion annually on funds channeled to health that are supposed to be channeled to healthcare, education, and infrastructure are used in making sure that malnutrition is reduced or eradicated. And there are a couple of factors that hits hard with these high numbers of children at risk. There are lots of impact on children and a huge impact on child mortality. And malnutrition contributes significantly to child mortality, with nearly half of deaths under 5 in affected areas being linked to it. So without enough nutrition, without enough food, children are likely to, die more. And with food insecurity, millions of Nigerians lack consistent access at this particular time where we have inflation and food insecurity. There's scarcity of food due to the high prices and, lack of enough produce being farmed by farmers due to internal conflicts as well. So with that, millions of Nigerians lack consistent access to adequate food, and soaring prices are making it even harder to afford basic necessities. And we have the issue of conflict and displacement as well. So with this ongoing conflict, especially in the northeast and some other parts of the Middle Belt, we have a lot of displaced families, and the exacerbating food insecurity and malnutrition as well. So make sure you call us. The topic still is malnutrition crisis. How are you coping? Call us in with the numbers displayed on your screen, or send us a WhatsApp message so that we can hear from you. Your thoughts matter, your contributions matter as well. So there are a lot of consequences when it comes to malnutrition, especially in children. We have increased risk of disease. Malnourished children are more vulnerable to diseases like cholera, diarrhea, and malaria due to the fact that their immune system is compromised. They do not have, they're not nourished enough for their immune system to work properly. And there is a fear of long-term health problems. Malnutrition, particularly during critical developmental stages, can have irreversible consequences for children's health and development. It could stunt a child's growth as well when it comes to that child's health. It causes increased strain on healthcare system as well. With the influx of malnourished children, it's putting a strain on already limited healthcare resources that we have here in Nigeria. And there are lots of things that need to be done when it comes to tackling malnutrition or malnourished children in Nigeria. There's supposed to be increased funding and resources. We know that we have humanitarian organizations that do outreach in making sure that they help out those that are suffering from malnutrition, but they are calling for urgent funding to scale up nutrition and healthcare services as well. And we need improved access to food and healthcare. With improved access to food, with a situation where there's availability and affordability of food, it makes it easier for the healthcare system as well to run, due to the fact that if there aren't as much malnourished children, the healthcare system will not be overwhelmed with the number of children that would be having issues with their health. And with that, it will ease up on the healthcare system as well. So we need to look at it on a wider angle. We have to look at ways in addressing the root causes of these situations, which is malnutrition, the malnutrition crisis that we have here in Nigeria. So we need a long-term solution, which requires addressing the underlying causes of malnutrition, which includes, as we mentioned earlier, conflict climate change and poverty, as well as food scarcity and insecurity. We have to strengthen early warning systems. So improved early warning systems for food insecurity and climate-related disasters are crucial for proactive interventions and supporting vulnerable communities as well. For example, right now in Benue State, right smack in the middle of, the central market, there is an IDP camp there. And due to the fact that there might be limited resources when it comes to, feeding the people or getting food there, then obviously a lot of children and people would be malnourished. So making sure that those people that are displaced as well, those are vulnerable communities. So making sure that people that are displaced are provided with food so that they can sustain their health. All right, make sure you call us on the number displayed on your screen. This is an issue that affects a lot of Nigerians. If you have an experience, make sure you call us. If someone you know is experiencing that as well, call us and let us hear from you. If you're a healthcare worker, you have that will be close to home as well. Make sure you call us and let us hear from you. Send us a WhatsApp message and be involved in this conversation. It is indeed a critical conversation. Let us take a WhatsApp message as of now and make sure you call us in so that we can hear from you. We have a WhatsApp message. This is from Nandi Bete and from Ogoja. He said the children malnutrition crisis in the country today is a product of uncontrolled breeding of children, poverty and insecurity that is crippling effective farming activities. If the challenges mentioned above are logically tackled, then we'll be on the way towards alleviating children malnutrition in the land. Now, that is another take as well from Nandi Bete, emphasizing that there are a couple of factors that do exacerbate malnutrition in the country, which one of them is uncontrolled breeding of children. Well, in itself, if you dissect it and look at it at a different angle, you would see that if there's a family that in itself, from the get-go, you're incapable of taking care of the whole family, or you have limited resources in making sure that the family is fed and taken care of and all other aspects are taken care of. A lot of people would agree that there is no need to have multiple or a lot of children that you cannot take care of. That in itself is another factor. And after that, as Nandi Bete said, there is poverty as well. When there is poverty in an area, or poverty is a factor, you cannot be able to, provide for those children or yourself as well, and then it will result into malnutrition. We have our first caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Hauwa. Happy weekend to you. Ade from London.
All right, good morning, Ade. Thank you for calling us. How is London this morning?
No, it's cool. It's going to be very hot today, 32 degrees.
All right. All right. All right, go ahead. What is your thought on malnutrition crisis in Nigeria?
Yeah, the WhatsApp message, I've said it all. Because how can you be breeding children when you don't have the capacity to take care of them? That is where the problem starts. Because you are giving birth to children, and you don't have any means of taking care, and you don't want to do family planning or whatever, and that is possibly the problem now, what we are having. And our agriculture is not good enough to feed everyone. Let me tell you one of my friends went to India. He said to me that India is a poor country, but they are not hungry. Can you imagine? Poor, but they are not hungry. I say why? Because everywhere is famine. In it. So in Nigeria, because of insecurity, it affects our family, and the federal government is not doing much about the insecurity, because they should have a national guide that will be specific, especially for farming. Then all this malnutrition will be taken care of. They are not doing anything to that area. That's why you see it now. You see, if you see the rate of families, even those who think they are okay, they are begging us for money online. It's too much. I have a friend in America who called me that why are they requesting for money like this? That is the treatment. Do whatever you can. I try whatever I can. So because people to go hungry, it's against my faith. It's against any faith. I don't like it because food is very, very important. Food is the cheapest here in England. The food is very, very cheap. With £1, you can get fish and fish and eat. So, but in Nigeria, they are not doing much to cater for those people. But there should be a law that if you don't have capacity to take care of your child, don't bring the children to this world because they are going to be suffering. And they turn to Ambrobas, turn to Boko Haram, turn to bandits, turn to kidnapper everywhere. And, that's why some of them will go and take drugs everywhere in Nigeria. So the only thing is that government should emphasize that family planning or go and work hard. If you know you want to bring children to this world, have something of means. And my advice to our ladies, young girls, that don't answer any guy that talk to you. Ask them what is their means, what do they have? Are they farmers? Do they have capacity to take care of any coming child? They don't look at their appearance. Look at the pocket. Let the pocket speak. So that's my advice. But so it's taking toll on people like us in diaspora because we remit billions of dollars to Nigeria every year, and it's for this cause. So, but we thank God that God provides for us that we are giving because giving is better. When you give people, God will bless people. But government should do something about it. Federal government, state government, local government should do something about it. That you can't just impregnate a lady and run away. And the lady gets birth to triplets. Who's going to feed them? So that's the problem we are having. But God will take control of Nigeria. God will take control of everything. God bless Nigeria. God bless us. Enjoy your weekend.
All right. Thank you so much, Ade, for your contribution. He made a couple of points pertaining, being able to take care of the children that you've brought into the world. That in itself is another thing, and calling on the government to do something when it comes to eradicating or reducing the rate of malnutrition in the country. And when you look at it, to be honest, you would have to think, okay, at a point there was a time I visited a hospital and the rate of children that were there that were malnourished, it was appalling, it was scary, and it really touched my heart due to the fact that when you look at those children, you wouldn't think that they would make it to the next day. And it will come to you that some parents do not have that awareness, that education when it comes to feeding their children. They do not know how to properly and nutritiously feed their children, even if they can be able to, buy what is necessary, the food that is necessary in making sure that their children are fed. They do not have the right know-how or the education in making sure that their children are fed nutritious and balanced diet. That in itself is another factor as well. All right, we have another WhatsApp message. And this is, excuse me. All right. We have another WhatsApp message, and this is from Malam Malansi from Kafanchan, Kaduna State, and said, good morning, and Hauwa and the other crew members. The issue of malnutrition in Nigeria is not far-fetched. Poverty, ignorance, and lack of political will in the part of the government is the cause. This issue can only be tackled if health education is intensified, poverty is reduced to the minimal, and government policy is geared towards promoting food security. All right, thank you so much, Malanti from Kaduna State, for your contribution. We have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, good morning. Thank you for joining us. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Daniel, calling from Jalingo.
All right, thank you, Daniel, for joining us. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Issue of malnutrition is not only about the food alone. You look at our environment, hygiene matters. In a situation, let me use open defecation as a concept and link it with malnutrition issue. In an environment where people openly defecate, it indirectly or directly affects the nutrition health of the people, of the children in that area. For example, when you let me use all these IDP camps, where proper toilet facilities are not available. People just discriminate anyhow. And the children around those areas go around playing on the same ground where people defecate indiscriminately. So after all, you see there are some pathogens that those children get in contact with. At the end of the day, we give them one or two sickness, which will give them the loss of appetite. Even with the food, they cannot be able to eat. Okay, a child that maybe is infected with a bacteria or that has to give him a minor fever. You know, at that particular time, that guy will not have appetite of eating. So it will have problem with his system when it comes to feeding properly. So there is need for more against open defecation, so that our children that play anyhow in the environment should be safe. Like some of our mothers, you see, when the child wants to defecate, we'll tell you, just sit down there. Just sit down there and do it, I'll pack it. But definitely you will not pack it up. But the same child will come back to that ground and play. And he will pick up one or two infections from that place, and it will affect him when it comes to eating. So that is my take for this morning, so that parents at times should know how to package all those things, put it in a proper place, and dispose it in a rightful way. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your contributions. That's a different, perspective when it comes to malnutrition, as he highlighted that due to open defecation and diseases as well, that in itself can affect a child and stunt their growth as well. We have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Hauwa. This is Shetima calling from Maiduguri.
Good morning, Shetima. Thank you for joining us. How is Maiduguri this morning?
Maiduguri, Alhamdulillah. Maiduguri currently it is raining.
All right.
Maiduguri is cool.
That is great. So what is your take on malnutrition and, its effects in Nigeria? I know you're from Maiduguri, and there are lots of IDP camps, and a lack of food and resources have hit at one point. So what is your take on that?
Honestly speaking, it's a pity. It's a pity. Because you will see a child was suffering from that malnutrition, and even the mother too. If you see the mother, she is not even healthy, to breastfeed the child because of lack of balanced diet, and the child is suffering too. Honestly speaking, it's a pity, truly, because our food nowadays we rely on rice. All right, and which it is a very big problem, because we are not balancing the diet. So something needs to be done, honestly speaking. Even though the government is not helping matters. Why did I say so? They shoot the price of everything. What they are after is they don't after about the health of their citizens. What they are after is revenue. They concentrate on higher revenue. And you cannot run government like that, because you cannot run government on profit making. It is very, very unfortunate to have this kind of government on ground, because government is all about the welfare of the citizens. It's all about the food security of the citizens. It's all about the health care of the citizens. They have neglected all this. What they're after is how, no matter how, what they're after is to make revenue, higher revenue. So it is very, very unfortunate. We are calling them to subsidize certain things. And we are not asking them to give us a palliative. We are not after palliative. What we are after is let them subsidize certain things so that a common man can afford to buy. We don't, honestly speaking, myself, I hate that palliative. I hate that palliative because you are making people to become weak and weak. So what we're after is let them revive what we have seen in the past during military government. We have cooperative. Let them revive that cooperative. Let them bring food and let them sell it in a cheaper price. So cooperative is a store whereby you can go and buy things in a very lower price, lower than market, than open market. So you can buy it because it is also a qualitative food. So I think something needs to be done, and they have to provide security for our farmers to farm beans and the other balanced diet foods so that we can subsidize and survive. Because what we are seeing is you take rice, you take wheat. How can you survive that? It's very unfortunate. They have to do something about the security of the country so that our farmers they can farm food, balanced diet food for us to consume. So I am praying to see a change during this rainy season. May Allah help us. May Allah restore Nigeria again. Thank you so much, and have a nice day.
All right, thank you so much, Shatima, for your contributions. He made a couple of valid points, noting that you would see a mother and child. A child will be malnourished, and the mother as well, and she would not even be able to feed the child, especially if they're breastfed, due to the fact that she is not properly nourished or has not eaten properly as well. So with that, there are a couple of issues as well that really do impact when it comes to malnutrition. So you look at food insecurity or insecurity in itself when it comes to farmers, farming their produce and sharing it to the whole nation as well. But then the federal government as well have to look at a couple of things in making sure that the people that are less privileged, or the people that are not able to buy food at this particular price that is available in the markets, find a way to subsidize it, find a way to regulate the prices as well so that it can be easily affordable to people, because at this point a lot of people are suffering. All right, we have another message on WhatsApp. It says, "Morning, Trust TV. My take on malnutrition is lack of good food, and most of Nigerians cannot afford to have good food for their families." This is from Ahmed S. Bima from Niger State. All right, that is another factor as well that exacerbates malnutrition in Nigeria. All right, there are key statistics when it comes to malnutrition, and there are key aspects when it comes to malnutrition itself. There is something called stunting, and 32% of children under 5 are stunted, which is they have low height for their age, and weight as well, which is among the highest rates in Nigeria here. Which is the highest rate in the world. We have wasting, which is 18% of children under 5 experience wasting, which is low weight for height here in Nigeria. We have underweight, which is 29% of children under 5 are underweight, which is low weight for their age. And then we have severe acute malnutrition, where approximately 2 million children are affected by severe acute malnutrition. And then we have maternal malnutrition, whereby we know if a mother is not properly nourished, if she's not properly fed, she cannot easily feed and nourish her baby as well. So 7% of women of childbearing age are acutely malnourished, and some studies show that this number could be higher. So, and then after that, we have regional disparities that cause malnutrition as well. Malnutrition rates are particularly high in those regions that have those factors, those disparities, which are mostly in the northern region due to the fact that we have the insecurity issue that's going on and stunting food production as well. And as I mentioned earlier, there is a need for education and awareness where parents, especially mothers, know how to feed their children, know how to, provide or cater to their nutritious need. The topic still says the malnutrition crisis. How are you coping with this this particular situation that we're in Nigeria with food insecurity, as well as high levels of poverty that is going on. High levels of poverty due to the fact that a lot of things are not easily accessible for us. Make sure you call us on the numbers displayed on your screen so that we can hear from you, hear your take, hear your experiences as well. Someone you know, someone close to you, if you're a healthcare worker as well. Let's hear from you due to the fact that that is really close to home. That is something that you've seen probably on the daily. If you're someone that deals with that on a one-on-one basis as well, make sure you call us, let us hear from you, and send us a WhatsApp message as well, because your thoughts and opinions do matter. All right, we have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This is Abasekon calling from Gombe State.
All right, good morning, Abasekon. Thank you for joining us. How is Gombe this morning?
Good morning, Hauwa. How are you?
Doing great, thank you.
What of your colleagues is not on board today?
Yes, it's a solo run today. All right, go ahead with your thoughts.
Right. Sincerely speaking, the topic today is a very welcome one. Just for people to know that we are really suffering. Malnutrition crisis. How are you coping? Well, personally myself, I come from where we eat good soup, afang soup, edikaikong, adikan, adama, and all those vegetables. But ever since I came to Gombe, I've been eating karkashi, kuka, and all those soup that I'm not known to eating. It has been biting. The economy of this country has really went into the down drain. The government of the day should ensure that things are put right so that we will be eating the right meal. Most especially, egg has become there's a woman on a Trust TV that normally display her egg. She said egg is now a king. Egg is now important. Egg is now very expensive. When you see things are getting so harder and harder, sincerely speaking, it strikes me and it strikes Nigerians because the poverty rate is so alarming. And I want to add this, that we have what is lifting gravity, and we also have gravitational force. There are laws governing this country. If we are not doing the right thing, the law of gravity will not work well. The law of lifting will not work well. That is why you see plane, when it lifts, it is stable in the air. It does not come down. There are laws guiding everything. Until we continue to put our laws in order, we listen to God's 10 commandments, we will not make it. Look at America. 10% of everything they realize, they give it out. 10%. They give 10% tithe. They call it zakah here. Tithe. No country that gives tithe does not move forward. Any country that does not give tithe, just forget about that country. I don't know whether Nigeria gives tithe, but look at America. That is why they have several areas that humanitarian tendencies that help people. Look at the HIV issues. They've withdrawn it. And look at, you will see a lot of Nigerians dying until we put the right laws. We start arresting criminals. We start arresting corrupt people. We start put laws, and then the laws should be adhered to. Thank you this morning, Hauwa. God bless you.
All right, thank you very much, Abasinko, for your contribution. He made a note that aside from the government, we have to put back in the society as well, making sure that we can contribute as well in aiding and helping the people. We have a call on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning to you all.
All right, thank you for joining us. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Yusuf A. Shuaib. I'm calling from Jigawa State.
All right, thank you for calling, Yusuf. What is your take on this issue?
So my take on the issues of malnutrition, is it the topic that you are discussing now? So the issues of malnutrition in Nigeria, let me specifically say about the hunger and starvation that Nigerians are facing. Many people know where to get nutritional food, but due to the lack of money, job to do, where to get that nutritional food that lead to high level of malnutrition in Nigeria. Let me use this to take a rural area as my case of study. If you go to the rural areas, some people know where people are fighting what to eat, irrespective of nutritional one. So we are calling on government to look and to consider to know where the local people are suffering in this country. My advice to Nigerian government is people are suffering. That's my take about this program. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution, Yusuf. There are lots of factors that exacerbate or create malnutrition. We have the lack of food and due to insecurity as well, there's poverty as well, lack of accessibility, displacement, conflict, a lot of them, lack of awareness as well. So with all of that, we have to make note of it, and the responsible, people that are responsible in making sure that each and every Nigerian is doing okay, do that and make sure that the food is accessible. Farmers are farming, there is security around so that the farmers would farm, food should go around. There's awareness on how to take care of you and how to, eat, how to feed your child as well, and as well as make sure that the food goes around. And because with a high rate of malnutrition, there will be a high rate of death as well, and the healthcare system will be overwhelmed as well due to the fact that children would be getting more sick because their immune system is compromised as well. All right, that is all we have for this segment. Make sure you stay with us for the next segment, which is the discussion segment. We'll be talking about 2027 politics. All right, we'll be continuing and afterwards. All right, I'll have a call, a lucky caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. What is your name and where are you calling from? Hello, are you still there?
I am calling from Yobe, Adolaji Mohammed.
All right, thank you for calling us. What is your take on this issue?
So my take on this issue, the issue of malnutrition in the country is so high.
All right, go ahead.
Corruption. The corruption that lead this country very poor. People are not doing the right thing for the common man to know what is going on in this country.
Go ahead.
So what I'm suggesting is that the leaders, we are being blessed. We are being blessed. So let us, the leaders, use the blessing that given to us by God to be used judiciously. Discipline is need for this country, for anybody that make things going wrong, so that anything should be changed, so that our life should be changed. The common man to see what is going on at the grassroots level. That's my take on this issue, please. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution. Continue to call us in. We are still on malnutrition crisis. How are you coping? How is it affecting you? Is it affecting anyone close to you or you, by the way, as well as if you are a healthcare professional or personnel? Call us in and let us know. And if you have any suggestions on ways to tackle this issue. All right, we have a WhatsApp message on from Mubarak Isa Bakar from Jos. He says, "Good morning. The malnutrition crisis in northern Nigeria severely affects children, leading to higher mortality rates, stunted development, and perpetuating cycles of poverty and insecurity. A major contributor to this crisis is the ongoing violence and insurgency, which displaces farmers, disrupts food production, and limits market access. The government must take urgent action to address these issues, or Nigeria risks falling further behind other developing nations." That is really right on the money. So all right, we have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning. We lost the call. Make sure you call us back so that we can hear from you. The numbers are displayed right on your screen. Make sure you call us in. Send us a WhatsApp message as well so that we can hear from you. All right, another caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
All right, good morning. Thank you for joining us. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is JD from Niger State.
All right, good morning, Kingsley. What is your thoughts
My
on...
name is JD from Niger State.
All right, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, you are talking about malnutrition.
Yes.
Malnutrition is hunger, and hunger is malnutrition. What I mean by that is that it's hunger that is causing malnutrition, and we cannot cope with it. It's not something that someone can cope with at all. So what should be done is that our government should do the needful so that there will be no hunger in the country again. People are suffering. When you wake up early in the morning like this, you will start thinking about what to eat. You are hungry, you don't know what to eat, you don't have money, there is no food, there is nothing. That is what is causing malnutrition. And it is not something that can be coped with. You can't cope with hunger. It's not manageable at all. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. He said hunger is malnutrition, and obviously in some particular situations, majority of the situations, hunger is the key factor, key contributor to malnutrition. All right, as earlier, we understand that malnutrition does affect a lot of things and causes a lot of things, which are mortality rates, higher mortality rates, stunted development, and perpetuating cycles, as earlier mentioned by Mubarak Isa in his WhatsApp message. All right, we have a caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, man.
Thank you for joining us. What is your name and where are you calling from?
All right, I'm James calling from Nasarawa State.
All right, good morning, James. What is your take on this issue?
Okay, you see, malnutrition is insufficient nutrients in the body, be it insufficient protein or carbohydrate. You see, most of the cause for death rate in Nigeria is malnutrition. And what I'm suggesting or think the government should do is that you can see most of the things we are facing now, the farmers are complaining that they will no longer farm food crops because the fertilizers are high, and so they cannot afford to buy fertilizer to farm food products. So they will end up farming commercial crops. So I'm suggesting that the government should reduce the cost of this fertilizer and then herbicide to enable the farmers farm some of these crops so that we'll have proper diet. Thank you. This is my take on it.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution. As he mentioned, there are situations where it is harder for farmers to farm other variety of foods, which would help immensely in a lot of people's nutrition. So with the scarcity of those other produce, then producing a lot of commercial produce, those ones will not help in a person's nutrition. So calling on the government to help in subsidizing a couple of things that would aid the farmers in making sure that they farm and produce those food that can contribute to the people's nutrition as well. All right, that is all we have. Thank you for sending all your WhatsApp messages. Thank you for calling in, for contributing to this interaction.